Hello everybody, I'm gonna do another tutorial. This one's gonna be on classic deformations within the animation mode. It's here in the tab animations, and it's one of the chapters of deformations that I'm asking from you guys to do. We need 4 of them. The first one could be the original one, but the next 3 should apply some of these deformations in a way that you learn how they work. So let's see what the students did with this um, specific project which we did in class, the helix. So we see it was smooth, it's fine. Probably in 2008 version it was smooth, but in the 2012 we don't need to do that anymore. We just go to smooth mesh and put this in 3 years. Probably no. But anyway, we have a smooth, that's good. We have a sun sky and we have a floor, and this person probably put some background. It's okay, fine. Let's see the rendering details. I think they're like here. Let's make it more size. I think it shrink for some reason. Anyway, here we go. There we have them. So as in common, we know that yes, he plays HD 720. It's fine. In quality, it's going to take a little while to get in for the first time. We should have the classic 1, 2, 3 options. He has it custom because in indirect lighting he placed the physical sun sky. No, so it's fine. If we render this, and I'm going to pause it, it should come quite okay. No, we can also press here to see, the gate of the camera view. I'm gonna render and see what we have and pause it. Okay, so it's done. Let's make this window very small. Put it away. Okay, so he plays probably a material is darker gray and a shadow. It's quite soft, but not too much. So I think it's very clear to see. And this is one example of a very clear rendering of the volume versus the floor. No, I think the morphology of this is very clear and understandable. So we save this. This will be our original. Let's get to the next step. Let's get rid of the the gate here, and let's do, for example, select the object and go to lattice deformation. And if we right click on the box and we go to lattice points, the points of this box that kind of bounds, surrounds this object are gonna highlight it, and we're gonna be able to modify it by selecting and pressing W, for example, to move it. And as we move it, this is gonna deform with it, and we're gonna be able to do quite interesting and very simple deformations. Let's see, for example, we move this ones and up, and this one's here. We could make very simple changes that are quite strong now. So that will be one change. It took us like 2 seconds to do, and we can just render again to see how it looks. No, I'm gonna pause it afterwards as well. Okay, yes, it's a nice deformation. Think of the potentials of deforming the line that generated this geometry versus deforming the actual geometry. So you can deform the line with the same lattice option, and then make the extrusion to that line, so you will have this effect with a perfect extrusion. But this is quite nice, cartoonish type of thing, so it's great. So we save that and we open the original. I'm not going to do that, but you guys should open the original. I'm just going to Control C to go back to the original position, and of course you have to save the file before and send me the both of the original and the first deformations. I'm going to Control C, get rid of the lattice, and there we go. I'm going to apply another deformation, let's say bend, for example, which is quite nice. And here it's a little bit different all the rest from a lattice, in the sense that this little line appears, and in other cases horizontal. Depends on the transformation and what you need. So you can change the values of this deformation by either going to the attribute editor here and press bend, and you will see the options that you can change. As you can see, it's changing in many ways. You can change. Okay, and that would be, let's put this in 0 back. 0, that would be no deformation whatsoever. Um, or you can also just basically press this button, which is the manipulator tool, after pressing the line, and these points will appear, and you're going to be able to change those points as you wish, and it will do pretty much, as you can see, it's changing automatically this option. So yeah, the different values will be changed, and it's pretty much how it deforms in terms of bending. No, you can exaggerate, but we're trying to do transformations that are like helpful to play with the original form that we have without deforming it too much. So yeah, I'm gonna take this one and save it and render again and see what we get. Okay, I'm gonna pause it as well. Okay, this one's great as well with the bend. I'm gonna do another transformation. I'm gonna Control C again. You guys should save and open the original again. This is the same argument as before. Control C. Let's get rid of that deformation. Okay. You could also get rid of that deformation by selecting the deformate object and say Edit, Delete History, and you know that the deformation will disappear and the deformation within the geometry will stay. So that's a way of like holding one deformation. Now I'm gonna just try another one so you guys can see. And I like this non-linear wave, for example, and I'm gonna test it here, and also I'm gonna test it in a polygon plane. I'm gonna move it W, put it here, and make it bigger. And I'm gonna apply by selecting and deformations wave. There you go. And I'm gonna do it. It's difficult to see it here, so I'm gonna actually do it in this plane so you guys can understand better. I'm gonna press 5 to shade this. It's quite wide, so now I'm gonna. It's too wide indeed. I have to give a material to this, so I'm gonna shift right click. Sorry, right click, and say assign existing material. And I don't know which one is the helix, so it's probably the other one. That must be the floor, which is good to name the material so we know which one is which. So let me go to 4, select the object, and go 5. There we go, it's right there. And now 4 again to select the deformation, and as you can see, the deformation moved away as well. Let's see what things can we change. We can also go as before to this, and you see how it's changing. We can press 3 to the object so it gets smooth, and I'm going to press 5 to see the material. And by changing this deformation, you see how easily we could make up very interesting deformations by just changing these values very simply. Yeah, there we go. What it's basically doing, let's press 4, is changing the wave of deformation here, and you see how the shapes kind of deforms accordingly. So it's very good. For example, if you do this wave change, like there you go, you have the amplitude or the wavelength, and that changes as well, and that gives nice deformations. The offset, there's many things that we can change here. I'm going to press 5, and at the same time you can change the placement of the deformation, not the placement of the. Let me press 4 and the deformation toggle, and if I press 5, I can actually change that so it follows. You see, so that would be a way of kind of making very interesting animations. You see how it kind of follows the deformation within it. So I'm going to do the same. Delete these two guys and do it here, but within a different way. I'm going to select the 4 and select the deformation and press this guy instead of changing here, and I'm going to just change some of these points, which basically define the waves as well in a similar way. As you can see, I can change the amplitude here, I can change the how many times it repeats, the wavelength, and what is the amplitude of it, and many things that we can change, and when does it start, where does it end, etc. So I mean, this is quite good. I'm gonna just render this one so we can have another one ready to go. And I think we're gonna leave here the classic. You should check the other ones, are very very interesting to use in different projects to make a little twist to the morphology so it looks a little bit more interesting. So I'm gonna render this one and leave this tutorial here. I'm gonna pause it as well. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I mean, it's probably not the best composition in terms of perspective. You guys should come in a little bit in and have it more proportionally center, taking advantage of what space is being created, etc., etc. I'm gonna leave it here and jump to the next deformation, which will be cloths. Quite interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it there.